Welcome to Watches with Dennis, and today I want to go over 3 new models of the Seamaster Aqua Terra World Timer that just were revealed. Let's get the specifications out of the way first. As noted, there are 3 versions. 2 of these are steel watches. One comes on bracelet, one comes on rubber strap, and then one is a titanium version. All versions are 43 millimeters in diameter, have a lug-to-lug of just over 50 millimeters, and are approximately 14 millimeters thick. Both are protected by sapphire crystals on the front and back, featuring exhibition casebacks, being powered by the Omega 8938, which is the META-certified master chronometer movement, which is automatically winding, 3.5 hertz, and offers approximately 60 hours of power reserve. Both versions offer 150 meters of water resistance. Both have ceramic bezels and feature laser-ablated globe motifs in the center of the dials, which are the high point of these watches. In the case of the steel versions, the dial has a green PVD coating with applied gold-toned indices. The titanium version of the watch has a gray laser-ablated dial to go along with the laser-ablated globe and has applied blackened indices. Both versions do feature a Hezolite 24-hour ring. On all versions, that map motif is actually made out of grade 5 titanium. However, the titanium version of the watch is actually grade 2 in terms of the case material. In terms of pricing, Omega's website indicates that the steel watch with the rubber strap is $10,200, the steel watch with the bracelet is $10,400, and the titanium watch on a rubber strap is $11,800. In terms of my first thoughts, I actually like a lot of the aesthetic choices with these watches, but I'm not sure that they're going to do very well commercially. It's tough to say. I've never been a big fan personally of world time watches in general, and I've always thought that the Aqua Terra executed the display of the various cities around the world in a really clean way compared to a lot of other iterations of world timers, which I felt look overly cluttered. But that does come at a price, and I don't just mean a financial price. So one of the areas of concern, I would say, is when you look at the minute hand, there are no minute markers that it's pointing at. Normally with a sports watch, I would associate the watch with having some minute markers for the minute hand to be precise to. In this instance, though, when we move out to that edge, that chapter ring is occupied by cities instead. So in order to move all of those cities into a arguably cleaner location, and I would argue it's in a cleaner location, it has come at a functionality cost towards the precision available in reading the time when it comes to the minute. In terms of the steel versions of the watch, again, we've gone with green, which is about 2 years outdated at this stage. I personally do like this darker shade of green. I actually like green more than blue as a color when it comes to watches, but I just don't think commercially this is going to have the attraction that the older blue version has demonstrated. And to my knowledge, that hasn't actually demonstrated that much success either. I actually went last year to an Omega dealer. It wasn't a boutique. It was an authorized dealer of several brands, including Omega. And the blue Aqua Terra World Timer was in the display case. I mean, it was readily available for purchase. And I think these are going to be in a similar boat. Another issue of concern, I would say, is even though I like the aesthetic of both of these versions, both the green and the titanium gray, which gray is my favorite color, so that's not too surprising, these are big watches. They're 43 millimeters. The blue one was 43 millimeters, so it really hasn't come down in size, and I'm just not sure this watch is going to be particularly wearable for a lot of people. I mean, 50 millimeter lug-to-lug is pretty significant for many wrists. I would be willing to wear this. 50 millimeters lug-to-lug is sort of at the edge for me. I generally will go up to about 51 and then call it quits, and my wrist size is 6.75 inches. So I could see pulling this off, but I think smaller wristed individuals are really going to be leery about trying to wear this watch. It is a sports watch. I mean, that is the Aqua Terra's line. But I think that also begs a little bit of the question of this particular aesthetic, which almost seems dress watch oriented. And some of that might just be my own personal bias, but these are my first thoughts. In terms of world timers being more of a dress watch complication, I've seen other sports watches with world timers before, but a lot of the way this is designed to look almost feels dress watch to me. I think the final area a lot of people will have concerns with is the price. I don't remember what the price was last year when I went and saw the blue steel version, but I don't think it was this high. I don't think it was retailing at $10,000. Maybe it was, but that's a lot of money. I think especially people who have wearability concerns are going to naturally want to turn to the titanium for the lightness, but you're going over $1,000 on top of the steel watch with bracelet in order to achieve that. It's not actually any smaller of a watch. And I think a lot of people, rightly so, will push back on the grade 2 titanium choice for a 5-figure retail watch, especially since they turned to grade 5 titanium for the dial, and then they go back to grade 2 for the rest of the case. I'm not an expert on titanium. I only have one titanium watch, and it is a grade 2, but it also retailed for significantly less than the Seamaster does. So in terms of my final opinion, I actually like the aesthetic choices on this by and large. I think it looks better than the blue version. Both iterations, I am mostly partial to the titanium look. I still think the watch is too big for me to really want to go after, even though I could wear it. And at this price point, I would definitely not be going retail price for an Aqua Terra World Timer. I just don't think it's worth it. I could get past the lack of individual minute markers, but there are just other watches that I'm far more interested in when we're talking around $10,000 US. But anyway, those are my first thoughts. What do you all think of these new models of the Aqua Terra World Timers? Do you like them? Do you wish some things were adjusted? Do you think Mega needs to go in a slightly different or dramatically different direction with them? Comment below on what you think. I'd really be interested in reading about that. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. And if you want to be notified when I have new videos, just click subscribe.